Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now, and it's time to start the query segment. Just a quick reminder to everybody tuning in. You should tell us which stock you'd like to buy, the time frame that you'd like to buy it for. If you've already bought it, tell us what time you bought it, or rather what price you bought it at. If you're new to this program, you can send us a query on any one of our social media platforms or indeed on the WhatsApp number that is flashing on your screen. Let's take the first question. It's coming in from Sunny, and he's writing in to ask about Z Entertainment. By the way, our guests today, our experts today, Gaurang Shah as well as Kunal Bothra. Sorry, gentlemen, I didn't introduce you. Thanks as always for taking the time, and good morning to you. Gaurang, I'll come to you. Z Entertainment bought at levels of 249. What would you suggest is a good time frame to hold this stock?
Morning to all of you all. So, as we all know, this particular stock or the company has been in the news flow some time back, and with the merger, it has by default become one of the largest entertainment company. We did see a lot of choppiness and volatility before and after the news flow. But on the fundamental, we remain extremely positive on Z Entertainment. And our sense is that in terms of targets, you could possibly be looking at somewhere close to about 320, 325, subject to the time horizon being at least 1.5 year plus for the merged entity to perform and translate those performance into earnings visibility and thereby reflecting in the number. So if you are in for about a year and a half plus, then I think it makes sense to hold on to the stock.
Right, then this next queries come from Arun Krishnan. Good morning, Kunal as well as Gaurang. Firstly, and also happy birthday to Alex. I know that I did not get a chance to wish him and wish him a very happy birthday. I
Thank
hope
you so much.
are having a great day already.
No, I think the gift that I've gotten is a return to normalcy because I spent 1.5 hours getting to work by car, and Mumbai traffic is back to normal. I must say that.
Absolutely, it is. And also, I need to wish happy birthday to our director as well, Santosh. It's his birthday as well. And since you cannot see him on screen, but he's the one who keeps guiding us through the show. So happy birthday to you as well as Santosh. So it's a big day for us at Buy Now, Sell Now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, let's get back to queries. And this one is coming from Arun Krishnan. He's saying that he's invested in Future Retail and he's holding about 1,000 shares at an average price of 50 rupees per share. He's saying based on the recent news that is going on with Future Retail and the Future group of companies, he wants to know whether he should sell and book the notional loss or hold it for longer term. Gaurang, what's your view on this one? Notional loss, is it? Should he book that?
Well, first of all, let me also wish Santosh and my good friend Alex many happy returns of the day. And as far as the query is concerned, Cheryl, this particular, again, we don't track Future Group, any of the companies. So that's a disclosure from our side. And the reason why we didn't do that was purely because of the news flow and the concerns that lie ahead. Now, if the investor wants to, book whatever notional loss is there on the books, can do that. I'm not recommending this, but in case if the investor wants to do that, and by selling that, and if you want to make some fresh investments into a different sector altogether, then two investment ideas I would recommend over here. One is from a small private sector bank, Federal Bank, or the alternative investment idea would be one of the auto stocks, commercial vehicle manufacturing company, Ashok Leyland. No specific comments on Future Retail.
Interesting question coming in from one of our viewers tuning in. By the way, thank you so much for all the messages that you've sent. It's very kind of you. And this is instant gratification, right, guys? I'm getting a lot of messages from our viewers saying happy birthday, and that's the connect that we have. So this is Sabapati who's writing in, and he's asking Kunal what the implications of the Fed meet will be, because that meet is ongoing. I think globally, market watchers are looking at the Fed to see what the direction is going to be for monetary policy. How would you trade markets this week?
So, first of all, Alex, very, very happy birthday, and to Santosh as well. But Alex, where's the party tonight? I mean, don't forget to message me. Coming back to answering your query, your viewer, yeah, is my voice reaching?
Yeah,
Yes,
please
Hello?
yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So, Alex, you'll have to repeat the question. Sorry, I forgot.
I don't blame you.
Party on your mind, Kunal,
Yeah,
isn't
you
it?
were wondering where the party is, Kunal. But
I think there's
having
too
said,
much of green on the screen, so it's party time.
that's a good reason to party as well. But let's talk about let's talk about Bank Nifty. Let's talk about the Fed. The fact that globally market watchers are looking at the Fed for direction of monetary policy and not just the rate increase, but also the rollback of bond buying and how that will pan out. How would you trade the markets not just here this week, but also over the next couple of weeks?
See, I think, of course, when you head towards an event, you'll have to be a bit more cautious because, it's very difficult to second guess what the outcome would be of the event. But then, the approach of the market as well is going to be very interesting because, in the last 2 months, we've gone through some extreme bouts of volatility in the markets. So somehow my sense is that the news or the expectations from the events is sort of factored in. Now, we know that the extreme downside could be 7 rate hikes from the Fed for this year. And if that's the case, which gets announced, then the markets would tend to follow the same path of a heightened bit of volatility even going forward. But if there is any kind of positivity which comes across, or in terms of the event, then there could be a chance that the markets may get into a steady uptrend for itself. So we are now into that repair process. Now, whether the repair process in the markets gets more speeded up based on the Fed event, or we get back into the bout of volatility, that would be the way in which I would probably approach the event. On the other hand, I think it also makes a lot of sense because if someone who's an investment or has a longer term time horizon, it makes a lot of sense to let the event pass out and then try and enter into the market or look at adjusting a portfolio. Whether you're looking to buy the stocks, it's okay to buy the stock maybe 2, 3, 4, 5% higher once the event passes out, because then that event risk is something which tends to ebb off. So I believe let the event pass out, then try and look at the market. If the event happens in a more positive manner, if the market takes it in a positive stride, then you can probably get much more opportunities in the market, both in terms of trading as well as investment perspective.
Right. This next query that we've got is from Akshay Bandari. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. If I'm unsure if it's Akshay Bandari or no. But he's bought Cipla at a price of 1,041 rupees per share for the short term. But he wants to know what should be the target and stop loss for Cipla. What's your take on this one, Kunal? What sort of a target and stop loss should Bandari keep in mind for Cipla?
Yeah, I think this is the first month where you've seen Cipla breaking out. I think the previous major high for Cipla was just around that 1,000 mark. 988, 998 was the range for Cipla in terms of resistances. So my sense is that the stock may get into a zone where it may try and come back towards that 998 or 1,000 odd mark for itself. So if you're looking at a stop loss, then I would suggest keeping a positional stop loss of 1,000 mark for Cipla, or just about that 998 mark for itself. And on the upside, if this move sustains, then you could be looking at a replica move of almost 100 and 150 points for Cipla, which that's shown this month. So from 900 to 1050, we can expect another 150 rupees on the upside. So potentially 1200 could be a target. Stop loss for this trade around that 998 mark.
The next question is coming in from Prashant, and he's asking about a couple of frontline stocks, Tata Motors as well as HDFC Bank. Gaurang, I know your view on Tata Motors. You've been positive for a while. Kunal, I'm coming to you. Tata Motors and HDFC Bank. Would you accumulate at the current juncture based on how the prices have moved in the recent past?
Well, absolutely, yes. No second guessing over here. I think both these stocks have corrected quite smartly, from their 52-week highs or previous major highs for themselves. And I think they are available at good, decent correction zones for themselves. So, a 20% plus correction for a stock like Tata Motors, and 15 to 20% correction again for a stock like HDFC Bank from its previous major highs. Those are classical opportunities when you're buying a large cap cream stock. A 15 to 20% correction is a very good opportunity to try and chip into these names. So I am extremely bullish on both of these stocks, and I think current levels as well is opportunity for all of the viewers as well as investors who are looking to buy these names.
This one is coming from Shiva, and he wants to know whether he can buy Shobha Realty or Shobha at a current price for the longer term. How does this one look to you, Gaurang? Shobha, a strong bet in the realty pack. Does it make sense to make a fresh entry at current levels for the longer term?
Well, so my sense, Cheryl, is that we've seen a meaningful turnaround over the last maybe about a year in the entire real estate pack. And on the fundamental side, we also believe that prudent to look at strong players with extremely strong balance sheet and executing capacities. Having said that, two companies that I can possibly speak about. First one is Godrej Properties. Second one is Shobha Limited. Uh, Out of the two, if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick Godrej Properties. But let's bear one thing in mind, Cheryl, that despite the recovery and the discipline that has come into the real estate sector, this sector still remains a high beta with a lot of volatility. So you need to digest that particular fact, have this clarity in your mind that going ahead with the recovery, there could be a lot of choppiness and volatility. So I think Godrej Properties would be the one that I would possibly recommend.
Gaurang, coming back to you, we've got a question coming in from Shravan. He's writing it from Ahmedabad and he's holding L&T Infotech at levels of 5,700 and he's asking whether it is the right time to add more or would you suggest to add another IT stock? His time horizon is at least 2 to 3 years.
Specific comments on L&T Infotech, but I have seen the balance sheet and we've also seen the performance in terms of earning visibility. It's one of the strongest company in the mid-cap IT universe, but no specific recommends because we don't have a coverage. But if in case if he's looking at another mid-cap IT company or a frontline IT company, then in the frontline I would recommend TCS, and in the mid-cap universe I would recommend Mindtree.
Right, Kunal, I'm going to come to you on this query, and there are two of them who've written on alkyl amines. One is Soumitra Joshi. He wants a view on alkyl amines. He wants to know whether he can start accumulating this particular counter right now or look at Balaji amines instead. Also, there's KR Balan who has DLF and Berger Paints, and he wants to know whether he should switch out of these two companies and invest in alkyl amines. So, between alkyl amines and Balaji, which one should Soumitra look at? And should Mr. Balan even make that switch from DLF as well as Berger Paints to alkyl amines?
So I'll start off with the second part of the question. I don't sense that it makes sense to switch from stocks like DLF, etc., towards alkyl amines or Balaji amines in that case. I think both these are completely different sectors. Real estate is started to pick up pretty well. After 10 years, we've seen breakouts happening for stocks like DLF, etc. So you'll have to give them more time for these kind of stocks to outperform. And we've seen real estate historically as well, that being one of the more high beta sectors, it tends to perform very well given a kind of longish time frame. Now, between coming to the first part, between Balaji amines and alkyl amines, I think the chart patterns are very, very similar. So it's very difficult to try and be precise about the the view individually. But then I think it makes a lot of sense to look at stocks or which of the stocks out of these two would break past about their 200 moving averages. Now, as of now, both these stocks are below their 200 DMAs by I think a margin of 5 to 10% approximately. So I think you'll have to wait out for a period where which of the stocks out of the two manages to break past about 200 moving average, and then try and take a call that could be a stock which is more stronger relatively than its other peer.
Okay. The next question is coming in from Rishi, and he's asking about CAMS, which he bought at levels of 3,409. Gaurang, what's the view here on CAMS? Would you suggest that this is a counter to hold for the long term?
So, Alex, I'll give you a sectorial view because we don't have a coverage on CAMS. And my sense, honestly, Alex, is that if you expect the Indian equity markets to perform, then all those entities which are associated with the stock market, whether it is an entity which is providing you a platform and an opportunity to invest in, or whether it is one of those, supporting companies which have services of DMAT, etc., or otherwise, would also definitely tend to perform well. Remember one thing, Alex, that over the last 6 to 8 months or 1 year, all those entities which are associated with the Indian equity market have performed well, and then we've seen some correction. So you need to be careful in terms of what you're buying. Unfortunately, no specific comments because we don't have a coverage.
Okay, this one is coming in from Sagar Kate, and he is asking about Century Ply. Can I buy Century Ply at current market price? Need a technical view for the medium term. What's your take, Kunal?
It looks attractive. I think after a consolidation of more than 4 months, Century Ply is getting back into the groove in terms of momentum. The prices are nearing the previous major highs. I think 690-700 was the previous major high for Century Ply, and the stock is now trying to get back to momentum closer to breaking out of this zone for itself. So it looks to be quite attractive, and I think the stock has now confirmed or corrected its consolidation as well. So I think in that sense also looks very attractive and could be a good buy at current zone.
It's time, gentlemen, to start the rapid fire segment. Just a quick reminder to keep your answers as short as possible. The queries have flooded in. I don't know if it's my birthday or if it's the green on the screen, Kunal, but there are so many. The first one's from RK Singh, and he's asking whether it is Sharda Crop Chem or UPL to be bought from the agri sector. This one's for you, Gaurang. For the long term, which one would you pick?
I would definitely go for UPL, and we have a long-term coverage.
Joy Sheila wants to know, can I buy IGL for the longer term at current market price, Gaurang?
Yes, and alternative clean green fuel and the focus from the government, we are extremely excited about it, and we have a coverage on the long term.
Electra Green Tech. Sudha is asking Kunal, for the next 6 months at the current market price, is this a good time to buy?
Well, very low liquid stocks, so just be a bit more cautious. Technically, yes, the stock is heading towards a breakout, so you can look to buy small quantities.
Okay, a couple of stocks. Chetu is asking Persistent, Zenzar, Happiest Minds or Cyient. Which of these are looking good over the longer term? But this one is for you, Kunal.
I'll prefer Happiest Minds as one of the cleaner breakouts on the charts, and even Persistent Systems, a stock which has done consistently well.
I don't think you'll have a view on KIMS, Kunal, so I'm going to take it to Gaurang. Would you be able to tell us if this is a counter that you would hold for the long term? 1398 is the buy price.
I'll give it a pass, Alex. I don't recollect having it.
Okay, fair enough. ONGC, would you buy for the long term, Gaurang?
I would definitely. The only concern remains how does India secure its future energy requirement, but I remain positive on it.
Okay, Shishit Patnaik is saying he has 1,000 shares of Centrum Capital purchased at 30 rupees per share. Wants to know what to do with this particular stock. Add more or sell or move to some other stock, Kunal?
I would suggest to exit, and if you're looking at in the same space, then Angel One would be a good stock that you can pull with.
Okay. Rajeshwari from Chennai has bought Tata Power Gaurang at levels of 234. She's asking if she should hold or exit.
Hold, and you get an opportunity on bad day anywhere between closer to 200 to 10. You can add more or make fresh investments.
All right, and with that we come to the end of this query segment as well as rapid fire. Thank you, Kunal, as well as Gaurang, for joining us on the show, and thank you to all of our viewers who've written in and we've not been able to answer. Don't worry, we will try and take your queries tomorrow as well. So do write in, do tune in. Even though if it's not Alex's birthday, so what? The show goes on and we do take your queries. And yes, Gaurang and Kunal, I'm sure that Alex will connect with you after the show.
Done.
To tell you all about the
party
scenes.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And
Yeah,
thank you everybody for tuning in. Unfortunately, we